Levarti.
Good morning, everybody. So I don't know about you guys, but I want to go like somewhere tropical right now. That video definitely made me want to go on vacation. So we are so happy that you are here. It is Happy Memorial Day weekend. I know that some of our friends and family are probably out having fun with their friends and family. So we may have a smaller group with us today. Our very own DJ is actually out with his family. He went to go surprise his mama. If you guys haven't seen that video on his social media, it is definitely something that you need to go check out. Definitely a beautiful moment. But we are here to just continue to keep us inspired throughout this next week, and just spend a little bit of time today together as a Levarti family. So thank you guys who are here. A couple of quick announcements. At the beginning, we will be taking a pause on our power session on Monday for Memorial Day. So just know that if you show up at noon Eastern, whatever time that is for you, you are welcome to come, but you may be by yourself looking at a screen that says waiting for host to start the meeting, because the host will not be starting the meeting. However, we will be back in action on Tuesday and ready for our weekly power sessions. For those who do not know, Monday through Friday at noon Eastern, we all get together here in this very Zoom room and we do a variety of different things. So we've got different leaders who lead throughout the week, who focus on, action steps, social media tips, mindset. This week, we learned about morning routines and evening routines and the power of having structure in your day, and how that actually helps you to be more successful and more productive. So lots of different things that you will learn when you come at noon Eastern throughout the week. Another announcement, if you do not know, or if you're new to our family, first of all, welcome. We are so happy that you are here. But we also have a couple of really big things coming up. So we've got a group of people who are leaving in like 3 weeks, I think it is, for our first ever Levarti party at sea. We have a cruise coming up, so I'm super excited about that and our time together for those who are coming. And then we have our first official I can't talk today. Hashtag Dash Life Escape. We have that coming up in August. So I think last I heard, there are 3 more rooms. So I think there are 3 more rooms that y'all could scoop up if you want to. That is going to be also quite amazing. If you haven't heard about that trip, I believe it's August 4th through the 7th. You can come early and leave late if you really like Vegas. We have like a trip around a speedway, and we have a show. We've got tours. We've got parties. We've got all sorts of things happening, and then there's still plenty of time for you to do the things that you want to do. So this is the beauty of the escapes, is there are some planned activities, but there's plenty of free time as well. So we're excited for you guys to come to that with us. We also have in September our next big event. If you were at our event in February, the No One Left Behind experience, then you already heard about that. But the No One Left Behind experience 2.0 is happening. And as DJ likes to say, and I think this is amazing, is that this year is really our foundation year, right? This is the year where we're building everything up, we're getting everything structured. So that event is one that you are not going to want to miss. That event is really launching us into what we feel is going to be really the big year for us, which is 2025, right? So this is the foundation year. That event is really going to propel us forward to everything that's going to be happening in 2025, and really getting you prepped for the last quarter of this year so that we can start that year strong. So you will want to be at that event. If you have not already registered, I will pop the links here in the chat in just a little bit. If somebody else has those links handy, feel free to do that as well. But I'll get those here in a second. They're also in the group in guide number 2, I think it is. Guide number 2 or 3 is our Levarti Live section, where you can go and find information about anything that involves us being in person together. So those are the announcements that we have for today. I'm sure that we'll have more throughout the week. We've got lots of things in the works. So always stay active in the Levarti Nation group. And then as well, you also want to be very active in the Living the Dash Life ATM page. That's where you can post your own stories of utilizing this awesome platform that we have all created together. And I just want to really, encourage you guys, if you're here today, you are part of creating this process. So when you ask questions, when you share your stories, when you have conversations with us who are in leadership and who are really helping build this foundation, you are helping build this as well. So I want to actually give you guys the courage and the encouragement that when you're talking with people, you can say with full authenticity, I am helping to co-create a new platform in travel and life experiences. You are co-creators in this process. That is not just some tagline or some cool marketing thing that we want you to be able to say. It is the God's honest truth. You are a part of creating this process. I mean, today, like I said, it is a lighter crowd because it's a holiday weekend. But there will be a day where this room will have thousands of people in it. And you'll be able to say that you were in this room when there was hundreds and even less than 100, right? You will get to be able to say that you were in this room at that time. And that's a pretty exciting thing to be able to say. And I want you guys to be able to move forward with the boldness that you will have then, because you will have that boldness then. When there's thousands of people in this room, you will be able to have the boldness to say, I was in the room when. So why do we need to wait for that to have that boldness? Why can we not have that boldness today to say I was in the room when? Because you're here right now helping us create this thing. So just want to really give you guys that encouragement. So little breakdown of what we're going to do today. I don't know how long it's going to go. It might not even be the full hour. We are in just the mode of saying what's on our heart and on our minds. Jake is going to come on here in a second after me and share with you. And I want you guys to just really, I know that, and you guys know me, I love DJ. We are BFFs, right? Super, super, super close. And he has all sorts of amazing things to say and so much wisdom. I think sometimes we might not realize that Mr. Jake Kevorkian is really a gem when it comes to his knowledge and his experience and the wisdom that he has to share as somebody who's been in this field for a very long time. So I really want you guys, when Jake starts talking and sharing, pay attention, like really listen, because when I really listen to him, and I read between the lines of a lot of the things that Jake shares, I really am blown away quite often. I'm like, wow, that was really great. You know what I mean? And so I want you guys to really pay attention when Jake shares, because he's got lots of good things to say. So just a little heads up, we've got some good stuff coming. Now, I want to share a couple of things with you today myself. The first thing is I've been hearing just rumblings from different people that they don't feel like they can fully share what Levarti has to offer because they haven't recently taken a vacation or a trip. Like I hear that a lot. And I want to really debunk it. And I want to call you out just a little bit and say, sorry, friends, but that's an excuse. That is a full-blown excuse and really honestly, something that you're telling yourself that's just not true. Our product suite goes far beyond travel. You can actually utilize our product suite every single day. There should not be a single person in this room or a single Levarti affiliate who does not have a testimonial up in our ATM page, because you can actually open up our app. I'm sorry, not our app. You can open up our platform and you can go to our daily deals and you can have savings every single day of the week. I have a really fun story. This is actually probably one of my most fun stories, which is going to sound silly when you hear what I had to say, but it has to do with me getting my oil changed. I went to go get my oil changed and I used one of our daily deals, one of the savings that we have deep within there. And the deal I got on my oil change was actually better than the employee discount that the employee who was ringing me up could get for themselves. Okay. And that was actually really fun for him to be like, oh my gosh, like, what is this? Right. I actually had to share with the employee how he could get a better discount than the one that he gets working there. And so there are tons of fun ways that you can actually use this every single day. So I want to extend a challenge to you before I show you what I'm about to show you. And that challenge is I want every single one of us. So there's 63 of us in here right now. That means that my phone should be blowing up all week long with at least 63 posts that I need to approve in the Living the Dash Life ATM page of a way that you used the product this week. Okay, so at least one time this week, I want you to utilize our product, whether it be through booking a trip, booking a flight, booking a car rental, whether it be going out to the Waffle House, whether it be going to a theme park, whether it be going to the movies. The movies are one of my favorite ways to use our products. I use the movie tickets a lot for my kids when they're driving me a little cuckoo. I send them out of the house with their movie tickets at a fraction of the price. So just know that you can indeed use this every single week. So let me get my screen shared here for a second. I need to get off our fun little show there. Okay, here we are. So when you go into your platform, okay, you are going to, there's two ways that you can get to the daily deals. So you can go here to more benefits and go to daily benefits. Or if you scroll down just a little bit on the page, the daily deals are also linked right here as well on the front page. Okay. So there are two ways you can get there. Again, I'm just going to go back over that one more time. More benefits, daily benefits, or you can scroll on down and you can go to the daily deals. So when you click on the daily deals, there are actually two platforms within the daily deals that you can use. So there's not even just one platform. There's actually two ways and to explore what savings that you can have. One of the ones that I probably use the most frequently is the one on the right. The one on the left is great. I will say that is got a lot of really great deals for events, for theme parks, for things that you would do when you're already on vacation that you would utilize. There's also a lot of really great online specials. So hint, hint, you don't even need to leave your house. No excuses. You don't even need to leave your house to use the daily deals, y'all. Okay. So next time I have gotten in the habit before I even go buy a product, I will come over here and see if there's some type of savings that I can get. And much to my husband's chagrin, I do buy a lot of products throughout the week, a lot of times on Amazon. But anyways, okay. So you could click on that link on the right and you can put in your zip code. You can also just explore based upon what you want to do. So let's say that you want to go eat. My zip code's already in here. So Waffle House, Subway, Hardee's, Papa John's, Red Lobster, Arby's, all of the healthy things. So if you're on a health kick, maybe don't come to this section. Okay. Although there's probably healthy options there as well. Edible arrangements. You can buy an edible arrangement bouquet for a friend for their birthday utilizing our platform. Okay. My birthday's in September. So all of that to say, there are lots of ways that you can say that you can play. So you can look at entertainment and recreation. And look, my zip code is saved in here. That's actually not actually my zip code, but it's close by. But the bowling alley, the children's theater, Dave and Buster's, Main Event, Top Golf, the skate park. Like there are so many there. And you know what's really cool? Actually, I didn't even know. And my son has a skateboarding company. I didn't know that this skate park of Greenville even existed until I came into the Dilly Deals. I know about some other skate parks. I didn't even know about this one until I came in here. So this is even a great way to come and figure out some things that you can do in your community to look for ideas. This is actually, Reedy Rides is one of the really fun things that we have in my town, where you actually can rent bicycles, and we have like a 26-mile trail that people ride, and there's different restaurants and breweries and all these kinds of things. I'm not sure that we need to be promoting breweries and bike rides, but it's there. And so there's lots of ways for you to explore not only how to save, not only how to utilize the product, but also how you can have fun in your own town and live the Dash life. That's literally our motto, right? It's we have two dates that we don't have control over, the day that we're born and the day that we graduate from this earth. It's the dash in the middle that we actually get to do something with, that we actually get to make our own. So let's take hold of what we have at our fingertips and make it our own. Now I want to stop sharing, just give you guys some tips on how to do this. So once you get in there, And once you actually start to utilize these daily deals, right? The key is that what you want to do, okay? What you want to do is from there, you want to actually take pictures of yourself having those experiences. So yes, indeed, even if it's the oil change place, you want to take a picture of yourself waiting to get your oil changed, okay? Or whatever it may be. You can find fun in any moment. If it were me in that moment, what I would have done, and I totally didn't even think about this, but it just came to my head as I was sharing with you guys, I would have taken a picture with the gentleman who told me that my deal was better than his. I would have just asked if I could take a selfie with him, and I would have posted that along with the coupon. So just want to give you guys a heads up, like, yes, you can totally post the deals. You can totally post the screenshots, but your post will go much further and will garner much more attention if, along with that coupon of the savings that you received, you post a picture of yourself experiencing the fun and or having the discount. So just want to encourage you guys, people want to see your face. Test it out this week, right? Not only with just utilizing those daily deals, but test out putting up a post of a quote, and then test out putting up a post of you with your family or friends or your puppy or whatever it is. I can guarantee you that the post that has you in it is going to have more interaction than the post that does not. Okay, so I just want to encourage you guys, go out, use the product. Again, 65 of us on here. So I expect to be approving a bunch of posts in that group this week of ways that you guys are utilizing this product. Every single one of us needs to share what we have at our fingertips. Okay, so in addition to that, I have something that I really want to share with you guys as kind of a what is it when you have the second one? What is that called? I can't even remember. The word is escaping me. But the follow-up for the little talk that we had last week about comparison, about utilizing the feelings that are tied to comparison as confidence and encouragement, the sequel. Thank you, my friend. The sequel to our talk last week. And I want to talk to you guys about really building a life around what you want. So I'm going to share a little video with you guys that really inspired me this week, that I think will inspire you quite a bit, that really gives us that next step. So for a little recap, for those who were not with us last week, I talked about how we fall into this comparison trap and how we compare ourselves. I'm not like Sandy Toes when it comes to social media. I'm not like Jake when it comes to speaking in front of other people. I'm not like DJ when it comes to structure and DMO. We make these comparisons, and what happens is we clam up and we do nothing. We just do nothing. And we get stuck in this comparison trap, and comparison is the thief of all joy. So what I encouraged last week for us to do to really break through that comparison trap is I encouraged that we utilize that as really information. Let's take the information of what do we admire about that person, right? We don't need to compare ourselves to that person because we're not going to be that person. None of us are the same. Thank God. So what we can do though is we can say, okay, what do I admire that person? How would I like to grow, right, in that area? And we can actually use it as encouragement to really become who we want to become. The video I'm going to share with you right now gives you another tip about how to really become who it is that you're destined to be and who you want to be. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Let me get it pulled up real quick first. So many buttons. Okay.
I'm going to talk to you about some things I've learned in my journey. Most from experience, some of them I heard in passing, many of them I'm still practicing, but all of them I do believe are true. Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. So the question that we've got to ask ourselves is what success is to us, what success is to you. Is it more money? That's fine. I got nothing against money. Maybe it's a healthy family. Maybe it's a happy marriage. Maybe it's to help others, to be famous, to be spiritually sound, to leave the world a little bit better place than you found it. Continue to ask yourself that question. Now, your answer may change over time, and that's fine. But do yourself this favor. Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that will jeopardize your soul. Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character. Be brave, take the hill, but first answer that question, what's my hill? So first, we have to define success for ourselves. And then we have to put in the work to maintain it. Take that daily tally. Tend our garden. Keep the things that are important to us in good shape. Where you are not is as important as where you are. It is just as important where we are not as it is where we are. Look, the first step that leads to our identity in life is usually not, I know who I am. I know who I am. That's not the first step. The first step's usually, I know who I am not. Process of elimination. Defining ourselves by what we are not is the first step that leads us to really knowing who we are. You know that group of friends that you hang out with that they really might not bring out the best in you? You know, they gossip too much or they're kind of shady. They really aren't going to be there for you in a pinch. Or how about that bar that we keep going to that we always seem to have the worst hangover from? Or that computer screen, right? The computer screen that keeps giving us an excuse not to get out of the house and engage with the world and get some real human interaction. How about that food that we keep eating? Stuff that tastes so good going down, makes us feel like crap the next week, and we feel lethargic and keep putting on weight. Well, those people, those places, those things, stop giving them your time and energy. Just don't go there. I mean, put them down. And when you do this, when you do put them down, when you quit going there, and you quit giving them your time, you inadvertently find yourself spending more time and in more places that are healthy for you, that bring you more joy. Why? Because you just eliminated the who's, the where's, the what's, and the when's that were keeping you from your identity. Look, trust me, too many options, I promise you, too many options will make a tyrant of us all. All right, so get rid of the excess, the wasted time. Decrease your options. If you do this, you will have accidentally, almost innocently, put in front of you what is important to you by process of elimination. Knowing who we are is hard. It's hard. So give yourself a break. Eliminate who you are not first, and you're going to find yourself where you need to be. Instead of creating outcomes that take from us, let's create more outcomes that pay us back, fill us up, keep your fire lit, turn you on for the most amount of time in your future. We try our best, we don't always do our best. Well, architecture is a verb as well. And since we are the architects of our own lives, let's study the habits, the practices, the routines that we have that lead to and feed our success, our joy, our honest pain, our laughter, our earned tears. Let's dissect that and give thanks for those things. And when we do that, guess what happens? We get better at them, and we have more to dissect. Be discerning. Choose it because you want it. Do it because you want to. We're gonna make mistakes. You gotta own them. Then you gotta make amends. And then you gotta move on. Guilt and regret kills many a man before their time. So turn the page, get off the ride. You are the author of the book of your life.
So I hope that really spoke to you guys and really kind of carried forward the message from last week of, one, we cannot compare ourselves to others, but it doesn't stop there, right? It really begins with us building what it is that we do want. And I love that tip of, because a lot of us are, what do I want to be when I grow up? I still don't know. I'll be 45 this year and I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but I know who I do not want to be, right? I know what I do not want to do. And so let's go ahead and just start there. Let's utilize that as our next step. So let's take the comparison trap. Let's get rid of it. Let's use that as motivation. What do we admire about that individual? And what can we do to grow in that area, right? And instead of letting it hold us back. And then the next step in that process, and we're going to carry this forward as we continue throughout the weeks to come. But the next step in that process is now, what's next? What am I going to do next? Right? And start with what you know that you do not want to be and utilize that as fuel. And eventually you will turn around and you will become the person that you want to be. You will actually realize that you probably already were that person, but you were spending so much time trying to be somebody else that you couldn't be who you really are. And when you do that, people are going to be drawn to you. The people that should be drawn to you are going to be drawn to you because you're living in true authenticity. So that is my 2 cents for the day. I want to pass it off now to my friend, compadre, partner, family, Mr. Jake Kevorkian. Love you guys. Take it away, friends.
All right, Corinne, thank you so much. Guys, give it up for Corinne. She is such a huge part of Levarti, of the heartbeat of Levarti. And I just so appreciate everything you do for us. And thank you for being part of the team and all the value that you bring. You know, it's interesting because I just made some notes this morning. I never really know exactly. Corinne goes, what are you going to talk about? I go, well, I don't really know. I've just got, you know, a couple pages of notes just to kind of trigger some thoughts. And what's interesting is one of the things that I wanted to talk about is comparing yourself to other people. So how ironic is it that we play that incredible video from Matthew McConaughey? I'm a big, huge fan, by the way. I don't know if you guys have read the book. I think it's called Green Lights. Okay. I did the audio book by Matthew McConaughey. I highly recommend it. It's a great book. He's a good dude. And I know Bart's a big fan because Matthew McConaughey might possibly be the biggest University of Texas Longhorn fan on the planet outside of Bart. So anyway, but what I want to talk about is kind of falls in line with that about comparing yourself to other people. And the analogy that I would give you to sort of get this in your head is imagine a football field. So a football field's 100 yards long from end zone to end zone. It's 100 yards. And a lot of people, and the goal obviously is to get into the end zone, right? To get into the end zone and score, get in the end zone and achieve your goal. And when people join Levarti, I want you to look at it, for an analogy anyway, as a football field. And everybody that joins Levarti is starting at a different yard line based on past experiences. Okay, so the goal was to get into the end zone, but we're all starting on a different yard line. And when I started 34 years ago into this business, I was, I can't even say I was on my own 1 yard line. Like I was probably farther back than even my own 1 yard line. I had a whole 100 yards to go. And I remember looking at other people and going, why are they having so much success and I'm not? But when you start to really understand the story, you start to figure out, oh, they've got experiences. They've done this before. They've got a larger circle of influence. They know more people. They've been successful at something else, right? So they automatically had credibility with more people that I did not have credibility with. So there's all these things. There's knowledge, there's understanding, there's life experiences, there's circle of influences. There's so many things that go into it to determine what yard line you start on. Okay. And so 34 years ago, when I started in this business, you know, like I said, I was like on my own 1 yard line. And, you know, today or back in September when Bart and DJ and I, you know, launched Levarti, you know, I was probably more like on, you know, my almost about to score. I was on the 5 yard line on the opposite end of the field, right? Just because of all the past experiences. So don't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to where you are and understand. And this is what's really important. Okay. This kind of leads into what I want to talk about today is it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter what yard line you start on. Every single person on this Zoom today and every single person that's part of Levarti can succeed, can score a touchdown. You can do it, right? I mean, you just have to go and do the actions and hang in there and get the experience and go through the motions and talk to the people and go through the rejection and all the things, but we can all do it. And that, honestly, that was one of the things that got me most excited about this type of business 34 years ago when I looked at it is, you know, I saw average people making above average incomes. And I realized even though I did not have success immediately, it took me 6 months to enroll my very first affiliate, 6 full months of really trying. And I was working and trying and talking to people, right? So, you know, I didn't have that immediate success, but I always intuitively knew that I could do it, right? And there's certain things that I cannot do. I can't go play in the NBA. I don't care how hard I try or how positive I am. I can't go play in the NBA. I can't go play in the NFL. I can't go be CEO of Apple Computers. There's a lot of things I cannot do, no matter how positive I am, no matter how much I believe, and no matter how hard I work. I'm at a stage in my life that's not ever going to happen. Well, I was never in a stage in my life where I could play in the NBA. I can tell you that right now. But you know what I'm saying, right? There's certain things that we cannot do. This is not one of them. That's the best thing about this business, guys, is anybody can do this if you just are willing to get out and talk to people and go through the motions. But it's really important not to compare yourself, because I can remember going to some of these conferences and watching people who, seemed like they weren't any smarter than I was, making, crazy amounts of money, and I'm struggling with no success. And it's just, you got to put in the reps, right? That's all I can say. You've got to put in the reps, and that's all there to it. But the good news is we can all do it. So there's 3 questions I want you, and if you got a pen, write these down. There's 3 questions I want you to ask yourself today and contemplate as it relates to Levarti. The first question is, why are you doing this? Okay, why are you even doing this? Why? What is your why? What made you decide to join Levarti? What made you decide to show up to these Zoom calls and go out and talk to people and show up at conferences? Why are you doing it? Second question is, what revenue share pool do you desire to be in? Okay, which one of those pools? We've got 10 different pools, actually 11, because pool 2 has pool 2 plus. So which of those pools do you desire to be in? And I'm going to come back to this in a second. And then the last question is, what is your daily, weekly, and monthly method of operation, daily method of operation, weekly method of operation, just your DMO? What does that look like? Okay. Because if you say, hey, I want to be in pool 10, and you're talking to 2 people a week, you might not ever get into pool 10. I'm just saying, okay? It might not ever happen. But if you want to be in pool 3 and you're talking to a couple of people a week and you're consistent, you can get into pool 3, okay? So let's go back to the first question first. Why are you doing this? I believe it's really, really important to figure that out, okay? And I remember it was tough for me in the beginning to answer this question. I remember people asking me, what's your why? What's your why? And it was a weird question for me at first. And it was a difficult question to answer. But I can really remember going back then and really thinking to myself, okay, what is it that got me into this business? What is it that attracted to me this? And what is it that I want? And why am I doing it? And for me, it was, I wanted freedom. I just wanted freedom. I wanted to be able to build something and create a business and create a residual income and know that I could go and do the things I wanted to do. I could work from home. I could travel. I could play golf. I could spend all the time I wanted with my kids. And I didn't have to worry about the money, because the money was going to come in, because I was going to create something that generated that income on a regular basis. And so as I started narrowing it down more, I started thinking, I want freedom to do these things, right? And I can remember, and I guess this was 1989 or 1990. I remember one day going, okay, I know what it is I want. I want $10,000 a month residual income. In other words, I want to create an income that pays me $10,000 a month each and every month, and know that that money's coming in whether I work or not. Now, at the time, I remember thinking, if I could ever make $10,000 a month, I would have all the money in the world. I would be king, right? At $10,000 a month. Now, things change, right? We're at a different time today, so you might want to adjust those goals accordingly. But I was I was 20 years old, starting out. Bart and I grew up in a small town in Temple, Texas. There wasn't, there were some people that made money, but not, there wasn't a lot. We had probably more, I hate to say it, there was not negative influences, right? But maybe in some cases, not the best influences. in our lives. And I remember vividly, and Bart knows this individual, but there was an attorney in town named Steve Blythe. And I got to know Bart and I both got to know Steve through golf. And I went to work for him, and he was a very, 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 very successful attorney and did very well. And I can remember every Christmas for like 3 years in a row, he had, he used to wear these big cowboy boots, and he always had these nice looking expensive suits on and drove a Cadillac. And I remember every Christmas he'd reach into his pocket, pull out a wad of $100 bills and give me $100 for Christmas. $100, like back in the 80s. And I'm like, damn, I mean, that was an influence in my life. And I remember thinking back then, I want that lifestyle, but I don't really know how I'm going to get it. Like, I'm not good in school. I didn't make great grades. I didn't even finish college. I dropped out of college, and I saw this business as a way for me to get what I wanted, become who I wanted to be, become a better person, and create that financial freedom. So think about it. Why are you doing it? All right. Maybe if you're getting up there older in age, you just want, $300 or $500 a month supplemental income coming in. If you're younger, maybe you want to create some financial independence. Maybe you just want a plan B. Maybe there's all kinds of different reasons, but be as specific as you can. Then the next question I want you to ask yourself is, what pool do you desire to be in? All right. Now, a lot of people probably initially think, well, that's a stupid question. I want to be in pool 10. All right. But here's what I'm going to suggest to you. I want you to figure out what pool you desire to be in, that you're willing to exchange the work that it takes to get into that pool. You follow me? I want you to tell me what pool you desire to be in, that you're seriously willing to exchange the work and time to get into that particular pool. So in other words, don't say, I want to be into pool 10 and my daily method of operation is I'm going to go talk to 2 people a week. You're probably not going to get into pool 10. I mean, it would take a lot of luck, and it would take a long time. Okay. So look at it. And again, I'm telling you guys, we talk, the biggest mistake I see big income earners in this industry make, and I've done it myself, right, is talking about these extreme amounts of money. Like, you guys know, if you pay attention, there's a lot of people in our business and direct sales and affiliate marketing that make 7 figures, multiple 7 figures. Like, there's unlimited opportunity in what we're doing, right? You do know this. And there's a lot of people that have reached that kind of income. But the problem is, I think we spend too much time selling that dream when we fail to understand that 80% of the people, this is from the DSA, this is from thousands and thousands and thousands of surveys they've taken. I used to go, when I owned another company, we were part of the DSA, and I would go to their conferences every year. I participated in these surveys every single year. So these are surveys of thousands and thousands and thousands of people in our industry. And 80% of them said they joined direct sales, network marketing, affiliate marketing, whatever you want to call it, to make an extra $300 to $500 per month. That was 80% of the people. Now, if you're coming at one of those people talking about 7-figure income and laying down your life and planting your flag and sacrificing and, giving up your blood and all, you got to go all in, you're going to blow people away, because people have different dreams. They're doing it for different reasons. And we have to, I believe it's important for us to welcome people, embrace people, accept people, and support people based on what they want. Okay. Based on what they want. And again, what you want and what you're willing to trade for, it needs to be somewhat congruent. It needs to be realistic. But the reality is, and the reason I asked this question is, everybody's not a DJ Barton personality, right? Corinne pointed it out earlier. Everybody is different, and everybody wants something a little bit different in this business. And I think it's a mistake for us to assume that every single person wants to be in pool 10 and every single person wants to create financial independence. That's just not the case for a lot of people. Now, I will tell you what the survey also said is of those people that finally get to $300 to $500 a month, guess what happens? Guess what happens? Now they have a new reality. Now they have a new belief system. They've got a new paradigm. They've done that thing. They've gotten to $300 to $500 a month. And now maybe they go, you know what? I think I can make $1,000 a month. Or I think I could get into pool 7. I'm in pool 6 now. I did that. I think I can get into pool 7. So as you go, what you want and what you're willing to do to trade for it may evolve, right? But that third question I ask about what is your daily and weekly method of operation, guys, you've got to know this. Like, and I don't care if you're talking, again, I will embrace you wherever you are. Okay. It reminds me of a good friend of mine, Larry Thompson, gave me this example one time. Is if probably every single person on this Zoom at one time or another has been a member of a gym, right? Everybody's been a member of a gym. Well, if you go into any LA Fitness or any big, gym facility in this country, you walk in there and you look around and you see a certain amount of people. Okay. What you don't see is there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that are paying that membership and they never even show up. Okay. That's one category of people. They're paying the membership and they're never even showing up. Then you've got some people that show up and, they lean up against the treadmill and they talk to their friends and they listen to some music and they walk around, drink some water, maybe do 1 or 2 sets, and then they go. Like, they're there maybe for the social aspect, right? Then you got guys that are a little bit more serious. They show up on a consistent basis and they've got their thing going. Then you've got some guys that are in there every day with the gallon of water and all the big muscles, and they've got their little notebooks, right? You've seen these people, right? With the notebooks. They bring notebooks to the gym and they're making notes on their workout and they've got those people are serious. Those are the people that are dead serious and they want something above and beyond what most people want, right? But guess what? They're all paying their membership to that gym. They're all in a different place. So let's embrace people where they are and just, again, figure out why you're doing it. Okay. What pool do you desire to be in? And then you have to match that work ethic, that daily method of operation. You have to match it to what you're trying to get out of this business. And again, I've said this, I've said it so many times, but there's so many strategies and techniques in this business. And we've got some of the best strategies and techniques I've ever seen. I mean, I'm telling you guys, if you haven't been involved in another company before, you might not know what I'm talking about, but we have more in place from a support and training and mentorship and scripts and all that stuff, that foundation that you need to go out and build your business. We've got more of that stuff in place than probably, I don't know, any other company that I know of, right? But understand, strategies and techniques are always changing. I made way over $1 million in this business total, way over $1 million, before there was an internet. Think about that. I made a lot of money before there was a cell phone. And then before there was an internet. So clearly strategies and techniques have changed over the years, right? I mean, strategies and techniques have changed even since the internet has come along. Now we're incorporating AI into some of our strategies and techniques into business. But I want you to understand that strategies, techniques, and scripts are always changing. They're always evolving, but concepts are constant. Write that down. Concepts are constant. And the concept is talk to people. How do you do that? However you want to. Okay, whether it's online, offline, or a combination of both or whatever. But the concept is you've got to be talking to people. If you're not out talking to people each and every day, you're not going to succeed. Okay, I'm going to announce in just a minute the top 5 producers, the top 5 enrollers so far this month. And as of today, in the 3rd month that we've been sending out this enroller bonus, Sandy Toes Knows is number 1. She's won it 2 months in a row, and she's number 1 right now. Now, I can tell you there's no magic in that. The reason she's number 1, Well, she's pretty good at what she does. I got to, she's got a great personality. She's good at what she does. But here's the main thing. She's talking to more people than anybody else. That's it. Her daily method of operation is more consistent. She's talking to more people than anybody else. That's the reason she's number one. Okay, so just know that in our business, you can take all the stuff we learn and all the mindset stuff and the strategies and the techniques and the post, and you got the curiosity post and this post and engagement and all the stuff that we do, right? That's all important, but it all comes down to talking to people. If you're not talking to people, if you're not getting this message in front of people, your business isn't going to grow. It doesn't just automatically happen, right? And here's another thing. When you look at your daily method of operation, if you start paying attention to how many people you reach out to, how many people you prospect, and how many people you actually get an opportunity to talk to, if you track that for a couple of months, you'll know, okay, if I prospect 10 people and I get 10 people to listen to my story, however you do that, okay, whatever presentation you send them, it doesn't matter. We've got a lot of different presentations, right? Depends on who you're talking to. That's another thing. That's why strategies and techniques are always fluid, because I believe that I don't believe, I know that as humans, we talk to different humans in different ways. And if you don't, it becomes weird, right? When you become like a robot and you talk to everybody in the exact same way, it becomes a little bit weird. So it doesn't matter what presentation you use, and you're going to approach people in different ways. I would approach Bart as one of my lifelong greatest friends differently than I would approach some stranger. Okay, I would approach my kids differently than I would somebody who I have a great deal of respect for being successful in another business that I barely know. I just approach people differently. So those are always changing, right? But the concept is we've got to always be talking to people. And then one last thing, it comes back to identifying what you want. And I like what Matthew McConaughey said. He said, identify what we don't want, right? I think was the message, right? And that's important. Okay, I agree with him on that. But I will add to it, once you identify it, I would let that shit go. Excuse me. I would let that go. Okay. Identify what you don't want, who you don't want to be, and then let it go. Don't think about it. Don't focus on it every day. I don't think, and I wish he had followed. I would love the opportunity to talk to him about that video, because I wish he had followed it up with, it's important to know what you don't want. It's important to know who you don't want to be, but it's also equally important not to focus on that, right? Because what we focus on is going to show up in our life. That is a fact. I mean, thoughts are things, right? In our brain, we have a conscious and a subconscious mind. And the conscious mind is, we all know what that is, right? We're out and we kind of control the conscious mind, and this gets our attention or that gets our attention, or we intentionally start thinking about something else. That's our conscious mind. But we also have, behind that, we have our subconscious mind. And understand, the only thing the subconscious mind ever focuses on, even has the ability to focus on, is what the conscious mind tells it. So the conscious mind is the thinker, and the unconscious mind is the prover. That's the way it works. Like whatever we think about consciously goes into our subconscious mind, and it's working all the time. And it's just gonna lead you in that direction. So it's very, very, very important to consciously think about the things that you want and not the things you don't want. It's important to focus on how you want to be, how you want to show up, how you want to look, how you want to treat people, whatever it is. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Sure, identify it like Matthew McConaughey said, but then let it go. Because again, the thinker thinks, the conscious mind is the thinker, and the prover proves. The subconscious mind is the prover. What does the prover prove? The prover proves whatever the thinker thinks. That's it. That's how it goes. And it's sad to think and it's hard for me sometimes. It's hard for me when I've gone through difficult times throughout my life, as we all will, in, whether it be financially or with your kids or with your health or with finances or whatever. We all go through stuff, right? And we all have moments of, places in our life that maybe we're not so proud of, or we were struggling or whatever. But the sad, sad truth is, and this is, it's even hard for me sometimes to accept it, but the sad truth is we are exactly where we are based on the things that we thought about and focused on and the actions that we took in the past. That's it. Like, we are where we are because of how we think, what we focus on, and the actions that we've chosen to take in the past. So it's like when I have a negative thought pop up in my mind about something that I don't want, or a place I don't want to be, or I try to let that go as fast as I possibly can. And I stay focused on what I want. I'll never forget. I've told this story before. Maybe some of you have heard it, but I was one time with Wayne Holbrook, was the individual that he got me into this type of business. And he, outside of my parents, has had a bigger influence on me than probably anybody. I mean, I love this guy. I've learned so much from him. And he's 10 years older than me. And when I met him, I was 20 years old. He was 30. And he had everything I wanted. Like, he had, to me, what I thought was a dream life. So he was a mentor to me, and I listened to him, and I tried to follow his lead and do the things that he taught me. And I'll never forget when he told me this, when this happened to us one day, I realized how powerful the subconscious mind is. We were walking through a parking lot in Texas in the middle of the summer, and it was hot. Like, man, it was like 100 degrees. And there's this nasty black asphalt pavement with grease on it. And Holbrook bends over and picks up this dirty, nasty, gross penny. It was a penny. And he's cleaning this penny off, and he sticks his penny in his pocket. And I'm looking at him, I'm going, Wayne, it's a penny, man. I mean, it's a penny. Why are you wasting your time picking up a dirty, nasty penny off the greasy asphalt? And he said to me, look, Jake, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference in a penny and $10 million. All it knows is it's money. You're walking past it, so it must not be important to you. All right. And I can tell you, anybody that knows me, I cherish my change. Okay. I cherish my change. I've got a big thing upstairs every single day. I come home, if I go to the store, how many times have you ever checked out and it's like, it's $4.99 and you give them $5? I mean, I've had people go, do you want the penny? Well, of course I want my penny back. Yes, I want my penny. I don't care how much change I have. Put it right there in my hand. I want every bit of it. And if I see change on the ground, I pick it up, because I want to be financially free. I don't ever want to send a signal to my subconscious mind that a penny is not important, because a penny to my subconscious mind is just money. That's all it is. And the thinker thinks, the prover proves. So just really try to make an effort to figure out what you want, figure out what you're willing to trade for that. Make sure they're congruent. Okay. If you want to be in pull 10, can't talk to 2 people a week. Okay. Make sure all that's congruent. And I would just suggest that you check your gauges, check your numbers, like each and every week. Have an honest assessment of where you are. How many people did you prospect this week? And you'll know, like, after a while, you'll know, if I prospect 5, I get 1. Some people can prospect 3 and get 1. DJ may be able to prospect 2 and get 1. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your numbers are. Anybody, and this is the one thing I wanted to say, no matter what those numbers are for you and no matter where you're starting, if you're willing to talk to people, anybody on this call right now, 100% without any doubt in my mind, can get into pull 6. Now, I believe everybody could get into pull 10, but there's a lot more that goes into pull 7, 8, 9, and 10 than there is in pull 6. Understand that, because of the lineage, right? We've got lineage requirements to get into pull 7, 8, 9, and 10. You can do it, but it's going to require more than just going out and making sales. And that's one cool thing about our pay plan that I want you to really understand, is you can go and you control pull 1 through 6. It's all on you, because the company sales are going to be there, right? You got to have the company sales. They're coming in all the time. That's going to happen regardless. All you have to do is go out and sell product, sell memberships. You don't even have to get affiliates, and you can get into pull 6. So focus on what you want. I want to also, I want to recognize the top 5 current enrollers, because understand now we've got this enroller bonus that we introduced a few months ago. And for those of you that don't know how it works, we take 5% of the total company revenue each and every month, 5%, and it goes into an enroller bonus pool. And those top 5 enrollers split that money up. The top enroller gets half of the pool. And as we speak today, the top 5 enrollers currently in the month, we've still got some time, we've still got a couple of weeks. Sandy Toes Nose is number 1, John Rankin number 2, Tina Carver number 3, Dave and Donna Dove number 4, and Dolores Moon number 5. So congratulations to you guys. Keep going, guys, because here's the great thing, and I know I've said this many times, and I want to say it again, is we've got something very, very, very special with this revenue sharing plan that we have. And again, it is all predicated on the total volume of the company. That's what drives the revenue share plan. The total volume of the company and how many people you're sharing that money with in each pool. And unlike any other company that I'm aware of, we will have, and it won't even be close. Like it won't even be close. We'll have so many more people getting a residual check, percentage-wise, getting a percentage check here than any other company in this industry. I would compare it to any company. I don't care who it is. We will have a higher percentage of people getting a residual income than any company because of the way we've set it up. But I want you to know that to get into pool 6, all right, to get into pool 6, once you're in pool 6, as of right now, today, as we speak, and we're a brand new company with not a lot of volume, the total income for those in pool 6 is over $200 a month. It's not a lot of money. That will continue to grow. That will be a lot more money as we drive more revenue. But my point is, right now, getting into pool 6, you'd be making over $200 a month total between your pool 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 money. Now, the company that DJ and I were with for many years, I was one of the top income earners at World Ventures for many years. I had, I don't know, over 30,000 active affiliates in my team. In that company, you had to be 30 active on your left and 30 active on your right to get a $200 a month residual check. 30, 30. Now, if you were 30 and 30, that means you had a lot more people on one side than the other. So you probably had well over 100 active people. So keep that in mind. So we've created something really special here. I want every single person to benefit from it. And I just want you to know we're here for you guys, man. I'm telling you this, we've got some people in this company that really care. Like Bart, DJ, and myself, we want you guys to succeed. And we're here to help you. We're here to do whatever we possibly can. We're committed to making this company better and better and better every single day. In just about 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to be able to unveil, I think, one of the coolest, hottest, most efficient marketing funnels that you've ever seen in your life that we're all going to have access to. So every day, this company is going to get better. It's going to improve. It's going to look different tomorrow than it did today. And, you know, we're in that beginning stage right now. We don't have a lot of volume, right? But even where we are, just to put it in comparison, people in pool 6 right now are earning as much as people are in other companies that have to build, you know, lineage of at least 60 people, at least 60 people. So I'm just super excited. Corinne, thank you again for all you do. Bart, thank you for being here and being part of this. I mean, you know, Bart didn't get on these calls and talk a lot, but guys, I'm telling you, DJ and I talk to Bart every single day. Like every day we're talking, we're coming up with ideas, we're bouncing stuff back and forth. And we're all here for you. I mean, if you really have issues, again, we're not customer service, like DJ said. And if you do have a customer service request and you are hell-bent on talking to one of us, call DJ, okay? No, I'm joking. I had to get him back because he did that to Bart and I last week. We're not customer service, but we are here. Like when things matter, and some of you on this call have reached out to me with things that matter, that are important. And you know that we've gotten on it, we've helped, we've gone over and above, we've gotten outside the box. We'll do whatever we can because we care. And we're just, we're excited to build this company with you guys. And we're here to help. I thank you for being on these calls every week. Thanks for being part of this company. And we will see. It's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Have a safe, fun weekend with your family. And we'll see you guys next week.